Welcome back. After a series of tips about variables, assignment, and a wide variety of stuff, let's get back to the problem at hand. We would want to print the 5 table from 5 into 1 is equal to 5 to 5 into 10 is equal to 50. And the best solution that we have right now is to create a variable and keep changing the value of the variable. So index is equal to 2 and I can say print this. So this would print 5 into 2 is equal to 10. Index is equal to 3 and 5 into 3 is equal to 15. So can I do this in a loop? Can I do the same statement again and again in a loop? That's what we would explore in this specific step. One of the things you can already notice is the fact that I'm saying index is equal to 4 and then I'm saying print this. Can I actually do something to make sure that this statement is exactly the same all the times? So here what I'm doing is index is equal to 1, index is equal to 2, index is equal to 3, index is equal to 4. Think about what we are doing in here and think if there is an easier way to do this. Instead of using different expressions on these lines, can I use the same statement on these lines? You can pause the video in here and try and come up with a statement which when I execute will change the value from 2 to 3, from 3 to 4, 4 to 5 and so on. Pause the video in here. Okay, I hope you had a chance to do that. The way you can do that is by saying index is equal to index plus 1. What would happen? Index plus 1, 4, 4 plus 1. What would be the value that index would be referring to? It would be referring to a value of 5. So now if I do it, it prints 5 into 5 is equal to 25. Now if I do this again, it's now referring to a value of 6. So if I execute the same two statements again and again, I can print the whole thing, right? So this is what loops help us to do. Loops help us to execute the same statements again and again. And in this step, let's look at a simple for loop in Python. Whenever we run a for loop, we would want to be able to say, I would want to run it from 1 to 10, 1 to 20 and so on. And there is a function in Python which allows to create the range from which you would want to use the loop. So I can say range 1 comma 10, and the way we can use that in a for loop is very simple. The syntax of the for loop is for I in, so this is the name of the variable, for I in range 1 comma 10. So what we are saying is for I in a range of values from 1 to 10, what you need to do is in Python you need to put a colon. So you put a colon and in the next line give 2 spaces. So give 2 spaces. We'll talk about what is the importance of this space a little later. For now give 2 spaces and then you can say print I. So what we are doing is for space I space in space range and open parenthesis 1 comma 10 close parenthesis, a colon in here and print I. Let's see what it would print. When you press enter twice, you would see that it prints from 1 to 9. So it's printing all numbers from 1 to 9. This is called a loop. So when we run a loop from 1 comma 10, 1 is inclusive, 10 is exclusive. What does that mean? Exclusive means this value is not really included. So 10 is not really included. So the loop runs from 1 to the value before 10, which is 9. So that's why you are seeing values from 1 to 9 printed in here. So the syntax for loop is very, very simple. For name of the variable in the range. So I would want to print from 1 to 10. 10 is exclusive, so we are actually printing from 1 to 9. And you follow it up with a colon. And in the next line, I left a couple of spaces. This is called indentation. We'll talk about indentation a lot when we talk about puzzles related to for loop. For now, give indentation and then we can print I. how can I extend this concept to our problem? So what we were doing earlier, we were doing this earlier, right? So print 0 into 1 is equal to 2 dot format 5 into index 5 into index. Let's use a formatted string right now because we understood the concept of a formatted string. So it would sound f. Instead of 0, it's value 5. And over here, we would want to use the index variable. And over here, we would want to say 5 into index. It's an expression. So I can remove the format method call completely. So this would print 5 into 7 is equal to 35. Now I would want to print this statement for different values of I. How can I do that? I would recommend you to pause the video here and try it as an exercise. So the way it would work is for I in range, we learned the fact that it's 10 is exclusive, so I'll say 11. So it will print 1 to 10 colon and 2 spaces indentation, and I would say print, let's print this. So print formatted string in a double quote. What we would want to print, let's start with just printing I. So we are printing a formatted string I, and you don't need a semicolon in Python. So just press enter twice and it's printing from 1 to 10. What we want to print is 5 into 1 to 5 into 10. Let's go back to the for loop. Let's go back to the print f5. We would want to say 5. You don't need a variable over here actually. 5 into I. Let's see what would happen now. Aha, 5 into 1, 5 into 2, and so on and so forth. Now, can you pause the video and here and try and get it to print 5 into 1 is equal to 5, to 5 into 10 is equal to 50? Okay, here we go. Here's the solution. So print 5 into I is equal to 5 into I. Right, as simple as that. And now we are printing the complete table. So we are printing the entire thing from 5 into 1 is equal to 5 to 5 into 10 is equal to 50. So you can see how easy it is. We are using a for loop. What the for loop does is it for each value in the range 1 to 10. So I with a value of 1, I with a value of 2, I with a value of 3, and so on and so forth. It executes this simple statement. I hope you had an interesting experience solving this problem until now. I'll see you in the next step. Until then, bye-bye.